It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja Nima Akashat Zaviri, how are you?
So I have comedy today. So yesterday on the show, I was shouting, my husband, Kiniko, you hold my eye, Kiniko. And then the man comes home at night, see, don't be zipping me. I will not come for your life. Don't be your life at all. Zip. Everything zip. You won't kill me. Now your life. I was like, see this one that
Is that in Yoruba?
This one that I just praised on national TV for supportive husband. People that watch it, they don't know this side. Only me, I've been laughing about it.
How's everything?
I've been having this headache since it's been like 3 days. It's not abating. It's now spreading all over my head.
You need to check your BP.
I have. And I just finished treatment 2 weeks ago. I had to stay off the show from Tuesday last 2 weeks to take treatment. I had malaria. It was a bit high. I thought I was in a good place.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Never, if you just take a rest.
Another break.
Take another break. Don't worry.
My MD.
Ramatu,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, yesterday, this is mango season. So I made sure, we have Cotonou people around us that sell mangoes. So I bought like 4,000 naira mangoes.
What?
Plenty in a bucket. I sat down, but my Imodium was by the side. I finished that whole, I finished everything.
What?
I love mangoes, my best fruit.
Naira.
I'm telling you, more than,
mango.
yes, like almost, I think 25 pieces.
Jeez.
25.
Things.
I just dropped my Imodium, finished it, feasted on it, then I sat down. I just started hearing my stomach doing kuro. I said, I have solution for you. It's right here. It's beside me.
So enjoy the season. You know these fruits that are seasonal. They come
and then
to deal with whatever comes with this season.
yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
All those fruits, if you check,
Okay.
whatever season they come with.
That's it. Oh,
that's
wow.
good.
I didn't know that.
Growing up, I ate all fruits for season, and I love every fruit I ate. When I grew up and they became scarce, I just noticed that certain things happen and
Wow.
Body is able to fight.
Fight it, yeah.
Hello, Tokwe, how are you?
I'm good. Yesterday was I went for a birthday party. It was really fun. I enjoyed myself, and today I'm wearing diamond drops. So she's my neighbor, and she makes really cool outfits. And I got home last night and I found a bag on my bed. I was like, what is this? As I opened it, I said, fantastic. My clothes have arrived. Let me try it on. And it was perfect. A lot of Nigerian designers are really doing it up the game.
Yeah.
So why go abroad? This is like, you don't need to. Well, when I'm shopping online, I'm like, if I want to buy shirts, it's here. Pound trousers here. And at the real, all those, like our clothing industry in Nigeria has really, really grown. And I'm waiting for it to take over from like the music industry, where global recognition will come to local brands and the effort we're making. But I'm sure that they would complain about power and ability to meet demand, because if they want to expand, they will say they need manufacturing and diesel and all of that. But the government can support them, because Nigerians are putting in a lot of effort into their crafts, and all entrepreneurs will tell you that it's not easy.
Government actually has plans. They have I think, facilities to support these businesses. Just that many business owners are not aware of the facilities available. So they need to continue to sensitize and let them know what's available.
My bank told me to come and collect loan, Rayo, 35%.
That doesn't make any sense.
But assessing those...
That's different. I'm just saying, proper government has other facilities. I have heard. I've gone to so many conferences.
And
they tell you. So it's either you go to knock the right doors or get information. But there are facilities there.
Access to may be difficult. You never know. Accessing those funds.
Okay. Let's go now.
Anything.
How far are you now?
It's Wednesday, midweek, really excited. Our birthday is this weekend.
Yay!
The twins are going to be 10.
Wow.
Saturday.
Time flies.
Party for their classmates and our small, economically understanding
community.
I have cut. I told everybody, I'm sorry, I cannot
invite everybody.
Please.
If it still shock you.
No, it shouldn't shock me. I didn't want to announce it.
What of Mobomoya? Mobomoya people.
There's no Mobomoya. You cannot enter the estate without calling.
Only classmates and mini estate. Period.
You are classmates.
Well, classmates.
Because
you write our name.
I went to the party yesterday and I said, wait, are we in this Nigeria? Because me, I am counting Naira for just under 10 years. And some people are like, yes, I mean, God bless them. Happy birthday to Mr. Onolaja, the MD of
Revolution
Plus. Okay.
Yesterday.
Wow.
He really went all out, and he did everything he wanted to have on his birthday. Launched 2 books, amazing books.
Wow.
And we offered him, everybody was throwing 1 million, 3 million to launch the book. Dr. and I said, we'll offer you your view.
Interview
To come
and tell your
story. Valued 1.2 million naira.
Exactly.
On the show. So we are really waiting for you to come on the show. But happy birthday again to Mr. Onolaja. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation, as usual. Shatima, government's tough options prevented economic downfall. Minimum wage talks continue today after Labour rejects federal government's 54,000 naira offer. Hamzat, top government functionaries bid Lagos Speaker's father by. States lose battle over hold on council's funds. Experts differ with CBN over interest rate hike. State varsities for student loan. Court sacks monarch in Ondo after 29 years. Okay.
So I have the passing of the Speaker's father in Lagos State. I joined the governor, the deputy governor, and APC members, as well as other functionaries in Lagos State, to commiserate with the family of the Mudashiru Obasa. His father, late Alhaji Obasa, died yesterday at the age of 83. He was buried according to Islamic rites at 2 p.m. yesterday at Suko Road, the Orange Place, along the Agege Abattoir Road, according to Islamic rites. Of course, attending was the deputy governor, cabinet members, lawmakers, and politicians. The governor had a very long commiseration note that was signed by his spokesperson, and he commiserates with the family. The senator representing Lagos East, Tokumba Biro, also had a very long note in the article, commiserating. Then Cardinal James Odubaku Babeto was very saddened by the departure of the other statesman as well, and his name was Alhaji Suleiman Obasa. Governor Ekpeleko, Speaker Ekpeleko, Baba Dami, Allah grant him joy.
Amen. Amen. Okay, another story in the nation.
Okay, so I have the government's tough options prevented economic downfall by Shatima. They said the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's tough decisions have prevented the downfall of the nation's economy. The country is on course to economic prosperity in a short while, in spite of temporary pain. This is Shatima saying this. They said this at the Professional Foreign Policy Roundtable Conference, tagged Asiwaju's Scorecard Series. And Shatima was represented by his special advisor on general duties, Aliyu Modibo Umar. Umar is a former minister of the Federal Capital Territory. He said critical decisions and policies of the administration were germane to the health and future prosperity of the country. Justifying the decisions taken by the administration, he said, are to guarantee the course of our nation for generations to come, instead of postponing the setbacks for our children and their children. He also said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made difficult but necessary choices to ensure Nigerians' long-term stability and prosperity, are never in doubt. He has chosen a path that, although demanding, promises to save our nation from economic downfall. So they are saying that all the policies that they have been making and all is just for some time. So he said we should exercise patience. I don't know how much patience we need to exercise again, because the things are still getting more and more difficult.
Okay, there's a story here that caught my attention. So the government of the 36 states and the Nigeria's Governors Forum have lost their fight against the federal government's efforts to monitor state governments' handling of the local government funds. This is a major breakthrough for Nigerians, I would say, because according to the report, they had challenged the government's ability to have the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit to actually monitor the funds that go into the local accounts and going out of it. According to the law, actually, it said that the guidelines, actually, the NFIU 2019 guidelines required, amongst others, that states and local governments' joint accounts should be used for only receiving funds and subsequently transferring them to local governments. In addition, it says that they also have a limit of daily cash withdrawal of 500,000 naira, and says that the crime, and the reason why they wanted to challenge that was to reduce the crime vulnerabilities created by cash withdrawals from local government. So when we say Nigerians, we have laws. There were actually guidelines. We have enough laws. It's the implementation of how to even work a way around it that is the problem for us. So I'm happy that the states have lost this case, and the court has instructed that NFIU does have the right to monitor the account, so ensure that monies are not going there out of that account into other purposes, except for the local and state governments. Okay.
So experts differ on the CBN's interest rate hike. So during my banter, I mentioned that the bank offered me 35% on the amount, or not giving me the amount I want to. They wanted to give me less than the amount I want, and they want to give me at 35%. And I said, thank you. I'm not going to be slavering away for the bank, only to come into the news and find out that the CBN has even increased the interest rate higher. So the conversation around it is the CBN is saying that they've increased it by 150 points base. What used to be, the banks would have to maintain at maximum of 45% and 30% liquidity. But Cardoso is saying that the banks are not threatened. They are doing all the policies to stabilize the economy. But for me, at the detriment of entrepreneurs and business owners within the country. They are also trying to increase diaspora remittances into the country, saying that the reason diaspora remittances are not coming through the official channel is because there are several charges that are placed on it, and so they've created a task force to reduce that one. Can we have a task force to reduce interest rates, especially for businesses? Because a lot of the banks know us. They will call us by them so that we should come and borrow money and give us ridiculous interest rates. They said that experts are saying that Nigeria is currently at a 28-year hike in inflation at 33.69%. I guess that's why they're trying to increase the interest rate to reduce the inflation. I don't think that Nigerians understand this equation. Cardoso, please. Whatever it is, we're not understanding the equation. We just want to see the impacts on our everyday life. Exactly. That the cost of living is going down. Businesses can access loans to expand their businesses, and these things are working in our own favor, not against us.
I don't envy anybody in government because I don't even know how to fix. Nobody knows. We think it's one way. They try it out, it doesn't work, and try another way. It doesn't work. It's crazy. Okay, The Punch. Private sector fears loan repayment crisis. That's, I think, just took that story. 26.25% interest rate. Tinubu case $750 million for rural electrification. Naira slides pushes Dangote diesel to 1,100 naira to the litre. Reps panel to probe faulty presidential aircraft. Minimum wage meeting adjourned as Labour rejects fresh 54,000 naira offer. Medical tourism spending falls by $5.24 million, says CBN. I didn't start governing fully until this February, says Fubara. Police launch manhunt for Ogun woman's abductors, and failed robbery. Lagos varsity students escape death. Okay, let's take one story for the break.
I have the failed robbery. According to the senior special advisor on student union affairs to the Lagos State governor, who confirmed that there was a shooting at an area around Lagos State University known as PPL. They are reporting it as an attempted robbery. The students in the area are saying it was a chaotic attack, but one student suffered a stray bullet shot. He's being stabilized. He's in the hospital. Then the report had broken on Twitter where some students were saying 2 students were shot, but nobody was killed. The confirmed report is that 1 person was injured. He's been stabilized. He's in hospital. Chief CSO of the school, as well as members of the tactical team, responded immediately to that area. They were able to take the boy to hospital, and they are insisting only 1 person was shot. The other person was just stained in blood. She was female, maybe responding to the student. And the Dean of Student Affairs was also on ground to put things in check. So the students are writing their exams now. I'm hoping they will finish this week. I hope that everything is stable there.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now 1 chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question.
Thanks for staying with us. So I have a story about medical tourism. So according to a report released by the CBN, Nigerians spent $3.82 million on foreign healthcare back in 2023, compared to the $9.06 million spent the year before. So they're saying that it actually reduced about $5.23 million. And what, yeah, it happens. In fact, interestingly, earlier in the year, 2023, Nigerians spent about $3.1 million. But towards the end, when we started seeing the dollar issues, only 0.69. So that was the dollar.
Yeah, dollar.
But yeah, so that.
And then we now have big hospitals. As in, hospitals now like hotel on the island. Everywhere you'll be seeing massive, big, beautiful hospitals, so that keep the money here. You don't have to take the money.
Quite a number of Nigerians actually. Just that many of our
what about the doctors?
Doctors are leaving. So
no, but those ones they bring in international doctors.
Yes, they bring
coming
in
back.
Yes, Nigerians. That's why I say
them
let them to go. When you start building, they will
things,
come back.
They will come back.
You don't have to beg them. They will be the one to come back home to
I saw a
work.
video of a lady saying the pasture is no longer green in the UK. She waited 6 hours to see a doctor.
Oh.
Eh?
When there's some surgery.
Nigeria,
But
she
Nima, I know
never-
somebody who was trying to get medical treatment abroad. She came to Nigeria, and within a week, she had done her procedure and she's gone back.
She even tried Benin Republic.
No, Nigeria is no. Let's continue to promote
No, I'm
our
telling you, it's
country.
half the price. Good medical care. Standard medical care over there.
Yeah.
But again, the hype is more on those that are leaving. Forgetting that people coming here for good medical service.
But we have to
And
have
it's cheaper.
money.
Okay, so
It's still cheap.
so I have a police launch manhunt for Ogun woman's abductors. Some gunmen reportedly abducted a woman, Nimota Busari, in the Ibepa area of the Shagamu local government area of Ogun State. This thing happened around 7 p.m. yesterday. They said after she sells at the market, so on her way going back in her car with her children in it, as they approached their gates, these men came out and, threw the children out of the car and carried her and, and the car. And they've taken her away. But they said that, the gunmen were said to have laid siege to the woman and her children at the gates of their home. And they are now saying that the police public relations officer Omolola Odutule, in a telephone conversation on Tuesday, noted that the investigation had commenced to secure the release of the abducted woman.
I hope she's safe. That's the trend in Lokoja. Women are getting home from school runs like this.
They will just carry them and their kids.
Throw their kids out.
All right.
And good news for those that live in rural area. Nigeria still ranks low among rural electrification, but the president has okayed this World Bank loan. So the World Bank loan is $750 million, and what that is going to provide is 1,200 mini-grids in rural communities across the country. The person in charge of Rural Electrification Agency, Haba Aliyu, disclosed this on Tuesday. He was addressing a press conference at the Alliance for Rural Electrification Energy Access Forum, which held in Lagos, and he said that Nigeria has the highest electricity gap in the world. So the cities are complaining, but if you get to the bush and the rural area, they don't even have any form of electrical provision. So what this is going to do is have mini-grid that would take care of local communities, especially those that are far apart, far from cities in any form. They said that they want to provide 3 million Nigerians with electricity access using isolated mini-grids. 1,500 Nigerians would also be getting electricity through the interconnected mini-grids, and about 15.5 million Nigerians would have solar system mesh grids. So many opportunities to sort out Nigeria's rural area. This, for me, is good news. While we Bande are still fighting the current costs we are paying, I am happy this investment has been received to support rural electrification.
Okay, moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. Labour rejects federal government's fresh offer of 54,000 naira minimum wage. Again, Peter Obi lampoons federal government. Shetima urges Nigerians to sacrifice for a brighter future. Threats by security forces won't hinder May 30th sit-at-home, says IPOB. Anxiety in Kano as Assembly moves to amend Emirates Council law. Another bloodbath in Plateau as terrorists kill over 40 locals and sack community. Rivers Court declares extension of local government council's tenure unconstitutional. An expert's kick as CBN raises interest rate to 26.5%. Okay, which story?
So I have the Kano House of Assembly story. And here the New Nigerian People's Party, the NNPP, and some members of the House of Assembly are looking to restore the old Council Emirates Council law. This law was amended so that, they created 4 other areas, which is the other districts under the Emirates, which is Rano, Karaye, Gaya, and Bichi. And then they were able to dethrone the former emir. And now the House of Assembly, they're looking to amend that law that was amended in 2019 to restore the old order where there's only one emirate. I'm hoping.
Are you trying to do that? Would they?
That's what they're trying to do.
They're bringing back.
That's amazing.
And how?
Because for history.
Not that they're bringing him back.
Yeah, they're just setting the pace. We are assuming or we are speculating.
Even if they don't bring him back, the point is history will remain history, not that we are rearranging what it is for political reasons.
Yeah, let me take this story. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, they have called on WAEC, that's the West African Examination Board, and the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Charles Esimoye, to postpone their scheduled examination and convocation ceremony for May 30th because they are not going back on their sit-at-home order. Wow. The spokesman of the group, Emma Powerful, in an open letter released to newsmen yesterday, insisted that May 30th stands to commemorate the fallen heroes of Biafra war. That day remains sacred and a day that Biafrans sit at home to remember and honor the heroes who fell during the Nigerian Civil War. So they're asking the schools...
Is Emma Powerful now the spokesperson?
He's always been.
Yeah, he's been the spokesperson. There's no public event is expected to take place in Biafra land on this day. Biafra Heroes Day is a public holiday and a sit-at-home in Biafra land for Biafrans to honor the fallen heroes. So I don't know how WAEC is going to take that, because WAEC is not a Nigerian institution, it's not a board. It's a West African board.
They're taking into cognizance any West African nation.
But this is just to within a region.
The government takes a stand, I guess.
We'll just see how the government handles that. Okay, another story in Son?
Yes, minimum wage. So the Labour, I've been following this story, and we want a peaceful resolution. As of yesterday, they negotiated, they've upped the negotiation to 54,000 naira, and the NLC still say no. They do not agree with that 54,000 naira being offered by the federal government. According to them, the new minimum wage for workers, according to NLC, what they want is 615,000 naira, which is what they have demanded, even though the government has offered 54,000 naira. And Nima, you said that the organized private sector offered 70-something thousand naira. They said that they did their own breakdown. As the federal government did their own breakdown of what it will mean if they are able to do the 54,000 naira. The Labour, however, is going to attend the meeting because it was adjourned. They would still attend the meeting even though they are standing their ground on what they believe would work. So federal government moved from 48 to 54. Labour is still maintaining their 615. The distance is so wide. Like, I don't even understand how they are going to be able to... The Labour needs to probably step it down because 615 is not as minimum wage.
It's not realistic.
We are together in this matter.
Nigerian Tribune, tougher times ahead as CBN raises interest rates to 26.25%. Kano Assembly amends Emirates Council bill amid speculation of Sanusi's return. Court dethrones traditional ruler in Ondo after 29 years of Obaship tussle. 2027, Atiku will be united by mutual desperation, says APC. Bandits kill over 40, raise several homes in Plateau community. And court nullifies amendment of local government laws by pro-Wiki lawmakers. Okay, which story?
An Ondo State High Court sitting has dethroned after 29 years, cancelling the Obaship of Oba Mike Adetunji Oluwole, the Olute of Ute, in a local government area of that state. This matter was filed in court since 1995.
Wow.
From High Court to Appeal Court to Supreme Court and back to the High Court. The Supreme Court had ordered the fresh hearing at the High Court, and finally, 29 years before they were able to remove
the person that filed it, is the person still alive?
Yeah, the lawyer is alive. I don't even know whether the original claimant is alive. But the I was going to say something. The court found out that the present king is a kingmaker and shouldn't be king himself. Oh. So he found a way to become king, even though he's among kingmakers. Traditionally, even in my own custom, kingmakers don't
ascend to the...
Okay, I think that's all we can take on today's review. When we come back, on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let the kids be kids. Getting involved with...
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka, the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good walking.
Gentlemen, pioneer member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I didn't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It all starts.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's my eldest son. It's not my eldest son. Ladies and gentlemen, the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abby?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink. Huh? No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera.
Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today. Last week, the highly controversial music sensation Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable, in an attempt to evade arrest by operatives of the Lagos State Police Command, jumped a gate. In fact, he scaled over the gate. He flew over the gate. The singer was later taken into custody following a complaint filed by the car dealer, to whom he owed money, substantial money. Last week's incident was one of too many among the encounters he has had with the Nigerian police since he broke into limelight back in 2021. Earlier yesterday, Portable was unveiled by the police as the police ambassador, a move that generated mixed reactions amongst many Nigerians, considering his troublesome antecedents. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree? Do you think it was a good move? Because they say that it is the child of fire that you bring to take to fire. I mean, I'm translating Yoruba to English now, you know. But you can call us on 081-0764-1679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so when I read this report, they didn't give us the name of the police that actually declared him as an ambassador. So I'm being very careful, because I have not heard from the first PRO, Muyiwa Adejobi himself. I've not heard him speak, because if I hear him speak it, then I can take him to the cleaners. But right now, let us hope that it might be an error. But just in case,
But he is the one that announced himself.
I'm just saying, we don't know. He could have said it by himself. But peradventure,
it was official.
It's official. Perhaps.
There are certain things I saw.
Then we can have this conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The things I saw in the picture is that it's only Portable that is declaring himself. Only him by himself on his social media handle is declaring himself ambassador for the police, saying police is your friend. I'm sure he's telling himself, I shouldn't have scaled the first fly fence, like my people in Pidgin will say. I should have just, I didn't know they were humans. And now I'm just waking up that they are my friends. And he put that post up because no official account of the police, not Benjamin Odeyi for Lagos, not the first PRO in Abuja, has declared him a police friend. And you can see the police officers he took pictures with were just in their unofficial capacity.
Well, we do know that he took the pictures at the Federal Criminal Investigative Department,
where he was taken to.
He was
being investigated for converting somebody's 27 million car and decided not to pay. So when he was there, that's the second part. You have reached where I'm going. Because he was there, pictures were taken. Of course, it means that while he was being investigated, he was given a certain kind of treatment.
Yeah.
That a normal Nigerian would not get. When he's being investigated, they were obviously taking pictures with him. Okay. And he is not a person that is discerning, he's not discreet. Unlike other people who have gone and taking pictures that we do not see. He will post it. Akoyi, all this.
So let me come to you. So we're saying that we don't know for a fact that it is official from Abuja. We don't know now. It was taken at the FCID office in Alagbon, right?
Doesn't make it official.
Doesn't make it official. It's just pictures. But we're speaking just in case. Perhaps they are considering it so that we can tell first PR in Abuja, just in case it's entering their mind somewhere. Make it official. Let us have that conversation. Ramatu, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good move at all. I don't know. Sometimes somebody that commits such a crime will now come and say we should make him police ambassador. This is not the first time it's happening. Yeah. I remember Big Brother. Up till today, I am still trying to understand the moral of that show. But Big Brother, Lekon, I remember when he came out, they now said he's an ambassador of the youth. And I'm wondering what talent.
He's an artist now.
Popularity.
He was an artist, but he was not a full-blown artist before he entered there. It was the Big Brother that brought him to limelight. And I'm like, this one now that they've arrested him, isn't he supposed to have gone to rehab or seen a therapist first of all before you now come and...
You're judging.
Before you come, because they said if we want to make him ambassador of the police.
Okay, let me hear Tokwe's thoughts on this. I'll come back to you. What are your thoughts? Just in case the police is...
No, for me, this news, is laughable. We had something similar with Naira Marley, and we also felt it was not true until we found out that for Naira Marley, it was actually a true story. This is another tool to distract us from the real issues, and of course, here we are discussing it. Portable trends for every reason, good, bad, like, and I love his sense of affirmation. He is really big on affirmation, but I do not think that it makes any, there is no basis for someone that is being detained, that is being investigated, that is being in custody, to have access to take pictures and keep the picture and post the picture. I do not understand. This is a leakage on the part of the Nigerian police force that should be addressed. It does not speak well. You cannot be saying that you arrest a criminal that is, even if the criminal is a celebrity by all standards, and the person is in custody, and there's some people stood by him and took pictures. Based on what? What message are you trying to send? I was even trying to zoom and see the picture on the wall.
Let me tell you who and who is there. Said one of the men beside him is the AIG in charge of FCID, former commissioner of police in Lagos, AIG Idowu Uwonwa. He was also there. So these are high-ranking police officers.
Yes.
Is he there? No, no.
I've not seen them.
The producer just sent me that message.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look
good. It's not good for the brand. It's not good for the Nigerian police force. And we mustn't get distracted. Now, the people easily laugh at Portable. They just look at Portable like, this is
no serious,
and they just laugh at him. But when you are the AIG, when you are representing an office, everything you do reflects on the entire police force, and you have to be careful.
Let me hold brief for the officers in that picture. So sometimes you have to put a human face to an investigation. But not everything that we do must come to public. It's Portable that don't have discernment. That's the point.
He leaked it.
If you go to any security agency, you are unlikely to go in with your phone without a connection.
Exactly.
NDLEO, everywhere. Yes. Police, EFCC. You will drop your phone. They will give you tally number to go in. So the privilege that he was given is something he should have discernment over. They probably saw that, the charges brought might be conversion. The petition coming before them might be that of the conversion. He's owing me 27 million. He's no longer picking up my calls. He's converted my car. He's saying he no longer, this and that. And he's not returning car. He's not returning money. It's conversion. Yes, the police come in criminally, and they sometimes stop investigation when they see that it can actually be handled. They can mediate. Okay, you now see your case right undertaking that, this is not a conversion, which stops it from being a criminal case anyway. You have agreed on how you pay. They release him. They even honor him because he's a popular person and take pictures. But he go outside, only him, and put up the pictures.
Yeah, ambassador.
Is it not libelous?
Sometimes when you come in...
Is this not a libel situation? Can't it be filed for? Miss, what's the word?
Misrepresenting.
Misrepresenting.
Yes, this is misrepresenting.
We don't know that yet. The police have not come out to say...
Are you the police PRO?
Benjamin Day.
That's Lagos. There's Abuja.
This picture is Lagos.
This is Abuja. FCID, so this is not Lagos.
This was Abuja. FCID
Alagbo, yes. They order a federal...
We should call us. And I think there's a media person in Alagbo. I'll call my own person in Alagbo.
So is it possible?
I don't think that.
Is it possible that this is a PR stunt? So, for example, you said privileges, right? Where he was allowed to take a phone in, right? So his PR said, we have this photo. Maybe it's time for you to call, because the Portable said with his own mouth that God said after God, now government. The police is your friend. So you're not there now, Onima. You can't
who is a brand ambassador?
Wait, I am saying, let me land my point. It is possible a PR company sees that photo as an opportunity to rewash his image, saying, okay, we have this photo, let's post it up and say, police is your friend, because he has not said I am an ambassador. He just said, after God.
He said, Omo Ijoba, police ambassador. He wrote it there. Omo Ijoba,
probably just to suggest to us. To suggest to us that he's an ambassador.
The intention is to wash his image, Mabino. The intention is to wash his image, but it's not PR. It's him. Because if you know this person, the other that I was talking, he said, I know him too well. His mindset, you can tell it.
He may not even know his mindset.
I'm not saying Portable cannot be a police ambassador, even under this circumstance. I'm not saying that.
Let's talk about that.
No, I've not said that. I'm going to come there. I'm going to tell you why. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, you know, the lack of discernment to go this mile is a portable thinking capacity.
Okay, not a PR company. Okay. But
you know, he's a school dropout. Sorry, excuse me. He's a school dropout. And he may just be saying police ambassador. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It's possible you just you may just decide and say police ambassador. It may not be like that.
Okay, so the issue of does he deserve...
Yes,
so there are two things. Let me let you jump in.
So for, I get your question, and should, you mentioned it to Nima earlier, that should he be used as an ambassador? The truth is, we are using this ambassador word very, very loosely. I did not agree with NDLEA using Naira Marley as, it can be an advocate. It can begin to support your advocacy, but it should not be an ambassador. A brand ambassador is someone that embodies your brand, embodies the values of your brand, can speak for your brand. This is what you want your customers to look like. This is what your customers will represent. This is not what the brand of police should be supporting. If somebody that is accused has repented, if he has repented, if he has said, I have turned a new leaf, I am no longer a liability of government. How can somebody put it? He put by himself, he said, I am federal government liability. I am the child of government, brand ambassador for police. I mean, police ambassador. So for me, if you show repentance, if you're someone who was a criminal or someone who used to be a liability, if you're someone who used to be...
So after the arrest, for example, after the arrest, right?
Yes.
It goes to the charges. No, he goes to, it does his time, pays back the money.
He didn't even do any time. He pays the money till they settled. He came back, he now cleaned up, was wearing shirts, was doing all of that, and came online. After a few weeks, he started talking about how we should not be doing things like this, or please don't run away from police. Police is your friend. Don't be jumping fence. Face the police. And he says a few things. Then police now comes out and say, we've seen that Portable now represents... He has represented himself. We are making him an ambassador. That he used to be a rough person, and now he's cleaned up, and he's showing that there is possible for repentance, there's possible for changed life.
Then
and you can become a friend.
But you misunderstand the extent.
I wanted to go to a break so that we can get your point in full. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
yeah. I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ladies and gentlemen, please to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing Portable, and Nima was going to say something.
Yes, I say, you see, we've forgotten the main reason Portable trended. It wasn't just because he was arrested for the car conversion. It was because he scaled the fence. He tried to run away from police arrest. You know, this because of his influence, because whether we like it or not, Portable carries influence among a certain class of people who will think, okay, police, they come, there's a way they used to do it when I was growing up in Ibadan State. Yeah? When there's police are pretending to arrest boys, yeah? CD, that means CID person has come. Once they say that, everybody's campus. Plus you where you guilty, plus you where you know guilty, everybody's campus everywhere. If the police wants to correct that behavior, that when there's a police arrest, calm down, follow the police, this is what the person that they will turn around to use. He's the one that is popular, he's the influence. That's why I'm not saying, you see, you don't become an ambassador just because you join a class. You become an ambassador because you carry influence. If you can change some mindsets of people, you are welcome to ambassador.
Advocates.
Yes. So you come and tell them that, you know, the police have a human face. You met human beings there. You were questioned. You were not harassed. You were not locked up. You can carry that, you know.
Let me take Uncle Cash from the UK. Good morning, hello, Uncle Cash.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And others. Yeah, good morning. You know, I like your program. I like your TVC. And I'm one of your lovely viewers. But please, your TVC is an international program. And with due respect, you know,
I couldn't hear him. Uncle Cash. Oh, sorry, we lost her. I really wanted to increase the volume, so I didn't hear him properly. Well, okay, so I was going to say something. It's like, you know, recently we saw how Puff Daddy was breaking the internet with his recent apology, and he was accused, of the crime, of a worst crime, of rape and I think it was
domestic violence.
Domestic violence and the whole works.
The works.
So imagine Puff Daddy being invited to the police. And they take pictures. While the investigation is still ongoing, they now have pictures of him talking with all the first PRO and all the various police officers, and they're smiling. And he takes a picture and says, police is your friend. No, the investigation is still ongoing. I know there are two different crimes. But the thinking, that's why I keep saying that, if somebody says we're doing renewed hope, that renewed hope is not just about physically renewing. It's a mental renewal. You must think differently. You must see things differently. It's not like before where, Portable is here, let's take a picture. Hey, my daughter wants to take a picture with me. You know, all of us take a picture. No. You must understand the weightiness of his presence in your office. A picture of that going out. You should think it through. Everybody in that picture was being, I don't want to use the word in my mind. They should have been more circumspect in what happens afterwards or even in that office. Because the truth is that there's a case on ground. He's in custody. He's under investigation for other things he's done. So they should have been very, very careful on this kind of, you don't have this kind of pictures for the sake of it.
On empowering
that kind of thing is wrong.
So,
let's take a few comments. On social media.
Yes,
Let me take it forward to our next topic. Good morning, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ibrahim calling from Ilorin.
Morning, Ibrahim.
So concerning this possible issue, I just want to make a contribution. So I don't really know if these officials know the meaning of ambassador. Because for me, I don't see the reason why they should be using Portable as an ambassador. Instead of Portable, I prefer them using this Nigeria Nollywood actor Ajasa as ambassador of police instead of this Portable. And this NDA, them using Panayamali as an ambassador is not okay at all.
He wasn't even the ambassador too.
So as I said, Ibrahim, we are hoping it's not because it's just based on Portable's post. So we've not confirmed from First PRO. We are yet to confirm from Abuja themselves to let us know if indeed is the official ambassador. So we're just speaking, hoping. We're just speculating here.
This is preliminary stage that they are at, and they are
Thank you, Ibrahim.
They are great crimes. Portable is being investigated for something not as high as
Puff Daddy,
as NDLE or Puff Daddy, or as drugs or Puff Daddy. Also, it is at investigation stage, not like the other ones who are already charged.
Right.
It might never even be arraigned in court. That's the point. This is at this stage. If they were going to smile at him at all, it's at this point. Maybe they have seen that, okay, there's no substance to the petition. Maybe that one just wanted, to shake him, write to a petition. And then the petition must get an invitation or an arrest. If they have invited him, he did not come, they will arrest him. If at that point he gets in and says, okay, I have houses here and there, or maybe if he gives me a chance, we are trying to sell one, I will pay him. And the police usually are empowered to mediate. Under the Police Act, there are certain issues that the police can handle.
So, Nima, I agree with you.
Not everything gets to court.
I agree with you 100%. But here is my grouse. We are in a state, the country is in a state where the police has bad PR. We are struggling to rebuild this force. Nobody respects the Nigerian police. We're trying to rebuild that. Your uniforms, they are retraining them. So when you do that, your posture, everything must tell Nigerians that you are here for business.
Messages.
Messaging is very important. So crucial. So who is the PR manager?
Very important.
You see, it's no more like before. So before, politicians come in, people come in, they talk about my colleagues here, let's take picture, he post. But now, we're a serious force. We're not just going to take celebrities coming in anyhow. We're going to be very... So things should be done. It's not like I keep saying that renewed hope. When I keep saying, let us ensure this renewed hope, every parastatal, every government agency must understand what they are saying about renewed hope. What are you renewing? Your behavior, everything, how you do things across board.
I also think that there should be an explanation. I won't say apology, but an explanation for
clarification.
Clarification of this, a disclaimer on this, so that everybody will know in clear detail that no, Portable, this is what he did, this is what the picture is meant to communicate, and all of that. And at the end of the day, there are many more issues that we need to be discussing. Nigerians need to feel more empathy for what the police is doing. And police is doing a lot of amazing work. This is a distraction for even the good of the police. The police is doing a lot of good work. And this is distracting us from seeing the good work they are doing, painting them black when we're trying to paint them blue. Unintended.
Well, they're not even supposed to even give us an update on what's going on the case. Has he been... In fact, he's not supposed to be with his phone. He's supposed to tell us.
It might be a PR
pictures and start
posting. It might be a PR stunt because we have totally removed from the guy that was...
Has he finished paying the money?
Has he paid the money?
You don't know. They are focusing on this thing. So that it could be a PR.
From disgrace to grace.
Let's see how what happens. I don't know. Ambassador. This was a PR company. Find a way to whip something around this.
I think that guy up.
It's very interesting.
He's the one that posted these pictures. None of these we didn't pick the pictures of any police officers.
Okay.
Even if they took pictures with him, they didn't make any post. But it's Naim. Sense wrong.
Right. That is all we can take on this segment. And when we come back from the break, we move on to our next topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
You make a complete meal in minutes.
Try AdMe.
Ikechukwu, Sunday, Okonkwo, a.k.a. Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's...
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just went that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's
I
all we
Nigeria,
can
but
take.
I choose to
Ejeki,
stay.
close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You Jesus. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn. Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a story online that caught our attention. A popular pastor, Stanley Ogona, has allegedly driven his estranged wife, Chioma, and 6 children out of their house in Abuja. The pastor was said to be in an uncertain relationship with his wife, which led to their divorce. In a clip that went viral on social media platforms, the wife was seen accusing her husband of infidelity and domestic abuse, among others. She narrated how she had suffered with the husband for over 18 to 19 years with 6 children. Now, they're very, obviously we don't have all the angles because it would be nice to hear the pastor's, her husband's version of the story. But going by the clip that we saw, which we're going to show to you right now, where things were thrown out, it brought the questions in our mind that, okay, in case of divorce gone bad, in case of marriage gone south, how mature are the parties involved? How do we address issues of separation? How do we address issues of child care? Those are the conversations, because abroad they depend on the courts to do it. You know, the courts handles it, but here there's a lot of negotiation, family involvement, even before the courts get in. And because we agree, yes, we're in a patriarchal society where usually the men have the upper hand. So in this situation, if indeed, yes, there's a divorce, who gets what? How do you think it should play out in the event that a marriage dissolves. But just watch this clip for context.
See him. God will help me. This is a pastor, Stanley Obunna. Look at him, he called police, evicted me and the children out of the house. Look at me. Look at my properties, unannounced. We're in the house this afternoon. He just came to the house with police, threw my things and threw my things away. And threw my things out of the house. He already packed his things out of the house for years, sleeping around. Now, he has come to disgrace me. After laboring with him for 18 years, 19 years. See what General Overseer of Gospel Assembly, Glass Church, Kubwa. Look at him. I'm his wife that labored with him for 19 years, 19 good years. The world needs to come into it and give me justice for suffering me for all these years. For suffering me after 6 children. I have 6 children for him, 6, not 1. My last child is 4 years old.
All right, so our conversation, let me just explain our conversation is not about his pastorship. Our conversation is not about her allegations of what he did or did not. That's not our business because we can't judge. What our conversation is primarily about what we're seeing, the fact that somebody got kicked out allegedly because of a divorce. So what are your thoughts? Let me start with you. Who wants to go first? Okay.
Yeah, so all shades of wrong. All shades of wrong. And so, number one, when you go through a divorce, it is not, if you've married someone for 18 years, bad as he bad with 6 children, under no circumstance should the person be kicked out of the house. It's just all shades of wrong. Even if the woman is a witch, she's an extremely wicked person, she destroyed your life. This woman had 6 children for you and lived with you for 18 years. 6. Me, I born 3, Seth. I understand how it is to born 3. Somebody now gave birth to 6. I did not hear her say she had twins there. That means 6 belle. I do think that we must develop the level of maturity to resolve crises without letting things disintegrate. Yes, this looks messy. It looks messy for the person, the pastor, even if he's not a pastor, even if he's just a worker. This is wrong for regardless of who the man is. Right. And even the woman coming online and saying he was sleeping around, all of that, it is 2 wrongs though. You know, 2 wrongs. The reaction of the woman to is wrong, especially when you think about the fact that there are children involved who will probably see this video, who will see this video in the next 5, 10 years, and they will say, our daddy did this is horrible. You must always understand and have a long-term perspective of the consequence of your action per time. So this pastor now wants to show, or this man, let me not even use pastor because he's a man. If he's truly a pastor, he will not do this. No person that truly serves God in any form of religion should do this. So let's say you are very angry and you carry out this kind of action. Don't you understand that this is not kind? As in, like,
let me come to you, talk with the
okay. So there are, in marriage, there are good times. There are good times and there are bad times. Let's always, sometimes when we take some kind of decisions, let's remember those good times. There were times when you laughed, you played, you know, all of you had a good time and everything. So now that it has come to this, consider at least the children. Now that you've sent them all out, the children don't belong to the woman in this part of the world, that we are in. The children belong to the man. The children are not bearing her surname. It's your surname they are carrying. So why will you now send them out? They were out. You came and you packed their load and dropped everything outside. I could even see basins of onions. You even packed onions and haba, mana. You at least consider the children and how painful it's going to be on her. She's acting out of pain. She's acting out of, that's why she's saying infidelity, all those things. It's out of pain.
Is it possible that his children are probably going to be protected? Maybe, I don't know, I'm assuming now that for a father, there's no father that wants to throw his kids out. So there's a possibility that you sort out the kids somewhere else. But it's the woman who have divorced you, we're done, take your property out of my house.
Usually, and then in the process of inflicting pain on the woman, it will fall on the kids. That's what happens.
No, it's not possible that the children are provided for and their mother is disgraced. Wherever you are watching and you're a man of this mentality, because this is not the pastor. So there's a reason I don't want to talk about pastors, because I have seen non-pastor, pastor, even Babalawo.
Pastors are human beings.
To women. It's a thing where you will find 2, 3 sisters from the husband's side say, we are coming to establish our husband, brother's right. Pack the wife, children along to further punish her. Give her the burden that, okay, go and train them by yourself.
Exactly.
A woman can choose, as a mature adult that she was when she came to marry, that I'm not marrying again. In fact, let there not be infidelity.
Just tired.
Just wake up one morning. As a mature adult, as you use your consenting leg to consent, you can consent and go back.
Not in Christianity.
No.
In Christianity,
see, we are talking law. I've never become religion.
Let's not touch religion.
You can consent and you can discontinue consent.
Is that acceptable by law?
That's the law. It is a consenting adult that marries. When you no longer consent, you are allowed to divorce. There's no court that will compel marriage when you no longer consent.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that.
So you go home when you no longer consent. But do you now get punished that, oh yeah, she been assist you, but carry on. Let's see how you raise them. When you suffer very well, you come back and beg. That nonsense is too popular. That's what is annoying me in this video. When a woman says, I'm no longer doing again, if you love her, you use the love that you used to toast her before. Toast her again. If she now say, pata, everything, I'm not doing, even if you like, bring my dead mother, I'm not doing, leave her. Let her go. But how do you now do it?
But that's what he's trying to do here by saying, this is my house. I want you out of my house.
He didn't do that.
Okay, what I read is that he sold the house. So I've sold my house. You used to live in that, so take your things out of my house. We are divorced.
Such right. Murayo, a tenant that did not follow landlord to buy sand, cement, block, is not allowed to be thrown out legally. Like this. Not to talk of a wife that might probably have given you support even if she did not have money to build the house. A tenant who did not buy sand, he did not know where you bought your land, he did not inherit your house with your father. He cannot be thrown out of his residence legally. You will have a right in court, not to talk of your wife and children. There's no right you're establishing that allows you to sell a building without providing an alternative for any human being.
Exactly.
But that's what the courts do. But you can use, as a man, I can use my discretion and say, I don't have another house. I have sold. I need the money.
You don't have
children. But you have children.
So it's possible that I take my children to my mother's house.
Sell your house.
Take you out of...
You will take her to court. All properties of the marriage, all proceeds that were obtained within the marriage, and place of residence inclusive. If she's established to be your dependent, like your children, you are going to make provision.
Yes.
Or to take care of.
I handled
according
the
to
divorce.
the law, yeah.
Yes, that's the law. I handled the divorce. I'm handling it, and the wife was insisting on the house of residence. And the man was saying she only married me for this one property. We were compelled to compulsory settlement, which is part of litigation. And she came there and she looked at me and said, you are even a woman. You're kidding. I said, madam. Unknown to her, I was chatting with my clients. I am not going to continue this settlement on your part if you don't make provision for her residence. And he says, okay, the property in question was somewhere in Ofada. I'm going to provide another place somewhere in Ofada. And she said, no, if I don't stay in Ofada, I must provide Lekki. I was like, you can't compare hardship on him out of his means.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I did not allow him.
To the law.
That my client provided a health insurance, what they call this HMO.
Yes.
Inside that settlement, I was the one advocating her rights.
Is it possible that you don't know if this man has offered her somewhere else and she chose not to take it? We don't know that's how
we don't know the full story.
What we are seeing here now is bad.
Yes.
But
this part.
let's talk about this story.
And in this rainy season, possible rain.
What she's even saying.
It's not raining in Abuja, we don't know yet.
Auntie, it's raining everywhere.
I'm just
and the heat that is even following the rain can kill somebody.
I'm telling you.
You know, if the heat is like this in Lagos, imagine what it is in Abuja.
So because we don't know the full story, there's a possibility that he has given her somewhere else to stay. And she said, because we are living in this Lekki area, this beautiful area, don't leave me. It's possible.
Let me make you laugh. One divorce we were handling, the man, they were living in a residence and the woman had access into the place because it was not an organized estate. Because she was coming to see her children, she woke up, she walked out of the house in the morning. By the time she was coming in the afternoon, she did not see anybody. Him, children, everybody. By the time she called him, he had moved to a gated estate that you need to call landlord before you can see anybody. And she was denied access to her children. The courts must sit up when they start to enforce this thing. You are not allowed.
Needs to be served
early. You cannot be allowed to deny a party access. Neither are you allowed to displace a party because divorce is happening. It is the most immature thing, most stupid thing to do. Especially when children are involved.
Yeah.
Now, you know that even if all 6 love their daddy, one will say, I want to stay with mommy. Okay, that one with mommy, which she and the child stay outside.
But there's a part, let me come to you, Ramatu, because we grew up here, and I will kick her out of my house. I will send her out of my house. We still see it today. And the women are scared of being kicked out of the house.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to bring a little bit of religion to this thing. Okay. Like, Islamically, if you are divorced from your husband is still, he's still supposed to provide accommodation for you and your children until you are able, until you remarry. He will continue to give you that accommodation until you remarry.
In the Quran, or you just came out?
It is in the Quran. It is there.
If you have your kids under age while they're with you, he has to provide. Accommodation. And if you divorce without kids, 3 months you will still be under his provision and shelter till you are.
He will provide for you feeding and also accommodation.
Let me take a call from Francis. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Mr. Francis Odi calling from Makurdi.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Those pictures, I want to tell you, good morning, all the beautiful ladies in the house. I'm a man. My wife have 4 children for me. We lost 3. If no matter what a wife does to, I told my wife one day we were having an issue. I told her, I said, I'll leave this house for you. You and your children will stay. Me, I'll leave. That is out of anger. I said I will leave the house because I don't even want anybody to mess around with you and the children. I will leave this house. I will carry my bag and leave the house. You people will stay here and I will go. A woman I invested in your life for about 18 or 19 years.
This pregnancy
is 6 children. Whether you are a pastor, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are an idol worshiper, anywhere in the world, this is very ugly. This is heartlessness. Yeah. So, and this dictates what the Bible is. We read from the Bible, where they will tell you the heart of the man is dangerously or whatever, very wicked. It's very unfortunate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. You're absolutely correct. Well, you see, there's a mentality of the patriarchal mentality where I brought you from nothing. I brought you from the village. I trained you. You came with not a pencil. And I gave you this home. I enlightened you, all your glasses. I enlightened you. I empowered you. You have this new home. And now we are divorced. Let me just return you back to how I found you. Let me carry you. Mothers, everything I got back,
exactly.
Everything, just carry your pack, your load out of my house.
Will you take me back to the slim person that I used to be?
She will not return to how you met her. If you even die suddenly, as you fall and die. She should not return to how you met her. Did you remain where she met you too?
Exactly.
In those number of years, did you not grow? You see this mentality of...
Is asking a question. Does our law allow a man to throw the wife's things out?
It doesn't.
Let me go on a short break. I want to bring in our guest because she's a woman. Hopefully she can add to this conversation before we now get into her own interview. But it's been nice to also hear the views. We're going to say something before the break. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's
I
all
leave
we can
Nigeria, but I
take.
choose to stay.
Close the show, G Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to sus? What is his name?
That woman.
Damn! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get to work now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a trip, a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
Thanks for staying with us. So we have our guest with us who's going to be joining the conversation. She's a dedicated data analyst and educator with a robust background spanning over 7 years in the education sector, committed to propagating lifelong learning for all and utilizing technology to enhance the lives of children, women, and for the better of their lives. So her work consistently reflects her dedication to these causes as she leverages data and technology to create impactful trainings, educational programs. We'll be talking to her, our guest, Oluwatosin Bogbaduade. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Good
We
morning.
love to celebrate women, especially on Wednesdays, and just, you know, just see what you're doing and teach us a bit of what you're doing. But first, before you came in, we're talking about this man who allegedly sent out his wife, who they've completed the divorce, obviously, and she was lamenting, saying that she's been there 19 years with 6 children, you know, and she was kicked out of her house and everything. And it was quite bothersome because we just felt that it was unfair. But understanding we live in a patriarchy, and society somewhat supports the man who is in charge, you know, to kick her out. What is it? She's, you know, who is she, where did she come from? We know, bring her from village to this house. You know, so what are your thoughts on that video?
Oh, really? So what we always say at Plant Path is that you shouldn't treat people unkindly, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their demographics. So the thing is that last week was International Day of the Boy Child, and we're at some schools at Idiaraba, and we were telling the boys, even if you're right, no matter how right you are in the situation, don't treat people in a way that is unfair. Because when we don't raise awesome boys, when we don't raise awesome men, it comes back to bite us. We raise good women, and then the boys are not well taken care of. I mean, they just maybe are financially buoyant, they know book, and their mental health.
Character.
Exactly. They don't have good character, and then it comes to bite us as a society. Nobody should be treated like this, no matter what has happened at all, at all. We shouldn't treat people like this, and we should teach our boys not to treat women like this. Very, very important.
Ladies, what do you think he could have done better? So let's imagine the worst case scenario. Maybe she's alleging that he cheated, he did this, but what if he comes to her tomorrow and says, no, she cheated. She stole my money, she did this, and she screwed up my entire business. You know, I'm done with her. You know, she's done the worst thing. Well, how do you think you could have managed it better than kicking her out or even selling the house, because she was still living in the house?
Yes.
So before he could have sold the house, it's possible he has been warning her. And see, this house, I'm selling this house. I want you to be out in a few months. And she keeps saying, you can't sell the house. So she kept challenging him and said, you can't sell the house until he sold the house.
You know that I started by saying a consenting woman can't divorce. So also a consenting man can wake up one morning after 30 years of all the love, after all I have done for you kind of conversation, and say he's done. He's allowed as an adult when he says he's no longer willing in a marriage. He cannot be forced to be in the marriage himself. He can go. But can he just go and say the marriage does not come with any baggage without settling the baggage and responsibility? He cannot. Just as the woman cannot wake up one morning, leave a nursing child for a man and say, I don't care whether he's breastfed. Any responsibility that you have in marriage must be dealt with post-marriage. It must be dealt with. If you were a provider, you must provide. If you were nurturer, you must provide for nurturing during divorce, during separation. You cannot be that thing hanging as a form of punishment or a burden that you're forcing on the other side of the marriage. It's irresponsible. So I don't think he should have. Even if a court order, because someone is saying here, he said the story has, Undona says, the story has it that this was not the man's doing. It was the court that came to eject her since she refused to vacate the property as ordered by the husband, and she left and she refused. And the husband left her and she refused, claim to the house. He got a court injunction. This is a YouTube comment.
Okay, so
So this is not a fact. But even in this, a man would have relocated his family. You are not allowed to displace a person. Usually when the court...
a man say, I'm only responsible for my children, not you.
If it's the court, after you've gotten a court of eviction and they come from court to enforce it, if the person is not willing to carry the things like this, you take to court's possession. You take into possession at the court. If they say, well, court will auction it, that means the person is not really serious. It's unrepairable. But you won't live to destroy, to waste.
Let me take this call from Emmanuel. Good morning, Emmanuel. You're live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, me, I just want to say, they used to say it's
I need some volume. I can't hear you.
It's a man's world, but this one is not a man's world anymore. It is very, 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 very bad. It's terrible. Not considering the children, or is he trying to tell us that the woman did not give birth to, the children the woman gave birth to are not his children? If you don't consider the woman, you don't consider your children, that means I would love to use a particular word. Maybe the man is not, it should be an animal. Let me use that word. It is very bad. It is very bad. It is very bad. It is very bad.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have a comment here from News Ayami Jesha. He says, my father kicked us out of the house because his new wife wanted our own house. My mother had to move with us 3 children back to the village, and that was where we raised up. Now we're all graduates, and so I guess, so this has been happening.
Yes.
Yes.
He was kicked out as a child because the new wife wanted.
Yes. So can I say something? It may be off of what the question you asked, but this is it. I think if we fix laws concerning divorce in favor of women,
laws,
it's not. It doesn't favor women. It doesn't favor women.
It's not in favor of men alone. In Nigeria, unlike, where the law tilts towards women, ordinarily assuming that there's provision. We have a patriarchy.
Balance.
There's a balance. There's no, what's it called this thing?
Alimony.
Alimony compels here. It's provision for child. Child support is compelled here. Provision is compelled. The court comes into that arena to look at both parties. This is not where your lawyers are the ones speaking. The court dissents and allows the party talk directly to them when it comes to the issue of custody of the child's welfare. So it's not one thing, one person will just come, I tell you this, I tell you that. Exactly. It's not I tell you, it's not based on your biases or your discretion as a man that a woman should be outside. And it's not on the woman.
Because in this are
wrapping up on this.
You cheated on me, so you should suffer.
Yes.
If you cheated on you say no one marry again, call.
Okay, let me come to you to see. Your final words on this, because we have to wrap up on this to come to your interview. I mean, as I said, the patriarchy is there. Society would usually not question a man that throws out whoever he chooses to throw out. And maybe this woman right now, who's going to help her? Not even talked about what's the next step for her. Honestly. Maybe she's somebody that's never worked in her life. It's possible she's the mommy Gio. She's been collecting, or the person taking care of how so it's possible that she's probably not empowered. So she has to start. She's just used to this lifestyle. You bring somebody and you empower her as mommy Gio, and she's now madam, and suddenly there's a divorce.
Oh, madam.
Yeah. So I mean, what would you advise her to do at this point?
At this point, well, I think she's from Abuja.
Yes, they're in Abuja.
I know in Lagos, there's Lagos DSVA. She would have probably gone to the agency. In this instance, rely on family and friends and pick herself up, really. Pick herself up, empower herself in the way she can, and then move from there. Hopefully, we're able to get justice for the kids.
Yeah. That's my own concern, the kids too. I just hope, I would like to assume that the man has catered for his children. It's the woman that he's having contention with, and even though he shouldn't do that, but I'm hoping that his children are at least fine. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll go into Tosin's interview. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. She you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
yeah. I just said, let me give you this one. as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have?
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our guest with us, Oluwatosin. Thank you so much. I know you are a data analyst. Mugbadu Ade. Thank you very much. I was trying to get the name. It's a mouthful, but I had to practice it a few times. Mugbadu Ade, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're a data analyst and advocacy, and you do so much work. Tell us a bit about the work you do.
Okay. So I've been working in the education space for about 7 years. And what I basically do is that at some point in my career as an educator, I thought that I could do much more than being a classroom teacher. I could upscale my impact from the 10, 20 kids, 30 kids I was teaching in class to upscaling, involved in curriculum development, instructional design, outreach and advocacy for the overall well-being of boys and girls. That's basically what I do. Outreaches, advocacy, basically just raising whole children that are able to compete in their own world favorably.
Well, you mentioned something when you were addressing the topic about boys, and it was a conversation last week. My son, who's usually very kind, decided he wanted a boy to not play in the house. So we have space and his friends play with him. And he was telling somebody's child, get out of this house. This is my father's house. And I'm telling you, I was shocked. If I did not hear it, I would say they were lying. You know? And I was trying to explain to him that even when you're hurt, you don't hurt others and all of that. He was adamant. So sometimes a child's behavior is not influenced by maybe lack of lessons or lack of the proper home training. Maybe, you know, his circumstance or his personal nature. How do you you know, convince such a child to do the right thing?
Okay, basically, when it could be that they had played before and maybe the person said something hurtful to him and he didn't want to play with that child again since he had previously played with that child.
Yeah.
Very simply. So it could be a lot of situations. It's basically as us as adults paying attention to what our kids are saying and what they aren't saying, things that they aren't reporting to us. And as much as we lead them right, we should also not enforce a lot of times. Listen to them. Okay, it's okay to not to want to play with somebody today, but another day, can you allow that person to play with you?
But he did not allow.
Another day, even till now.
He said never. He was saying to me, never.
Then that means that person must have done something.
Something that really hurt him, that he's not talking about.
What's interesting is your technology.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. How are you marrying that
with education?
Okay, so as teachers, the Nigerian idea about teachers is a teacher is that person that is old, that is not, that sits in class, just does their work faithfully, and after 35 years, they resign. Well, I'm saying that as a teacher, you can enhance yourself with skills that can better your work as an educator. For instance, learning data analytics has helped me for now, for instance, we did JAM, and then they said that more than 140 million of the kids got below 200. That's data analytics. We are using data to make informed decisions in education. So usually when people say, oh, teachers should learn tech, or they should do tech, it's usually, oh, leave education and go and practice tech. And tech, I always tell people, tech is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. It's a means to solving problems. Like I would always say, I want opportunities to work with WIEC, to work with JAM, to work with schools, and say that schools collect a lot of data.
We don't analyze it.
We don't analyze it. There's a new term coming. We are going to do the same thing over and over again and expect the same result.
And make the same mistakes.
Exactly. So as educators, if we know how to do data analytics, for instance, we can make better informed decisions. It looks like when students start classes early, when I do role playing, these students understand better. So it's basically using technology to better the educational process, learning styles, and a lot of things that happen in education.
Okay, so recently I wanted to study data analysts, I went online and I checked. I even started, but at some point I got stuck because I was not a science student.
Exactly.
So I now switched to business analyst. But up till now, I'm still struggling to know the difference between data analyst and business analyst. I just know that the business analyst does not have all the plenty techie thing, but it still has a little. Can you tell me the difference?
Okay, data analyst and business analyst work hand in hand. It is the business analyst that interprets what the data analyst has done. Okay. For instance, the data analyst is working with the numbers and doing the graphs and everything, and the business analyst says, okay, this is what it means for our business, this is what it means for our school, this is what it means for our swimming class.
Recommendations.
Exactly, that's what a business analyst does. So and it doesn't have to be as, like I tell people, tech is not so easy, like you said. I mean, people usually think that once you get into tech, you just land $10,000 job. You will not land job like that. You land to depression if you're not careful. So tech is not so easy. We have to give it time, let the learning sink in. I learned accounting for 4 years. I did my postgraduate in education for 1 year, and I don't expect to learn tech in 3 months and just get. Yeah, it takes time and then the learning process.
So I hear you and I see the opportunities and I see the gap that data analysis based on education would help amplify the abilities of efficiency in the educational sector.
Absolutely.
From primary to secondary to university. However, I'm worried, do we have enough, are we maximizing that opportunity? Is there room to have more educators becoming data analysts and working with schools to improve their information, how they manage information? Are you advocating for that?
Yes, that's what I do on my Instagram page and social media pages. Because I always tell people, until we parents start asking questions from our schools, this thing will continue happening. So as a parent, you want to choose a child school, maybe the best you do, ask for anti-bullying policy, and after then the class is well painted, that's fine.
Would they give us data of number of children that pass WAEC or number of children
They give us, but we need to ask more as parents, ask schools questions, ask our educational bodies questions. When we start putting that pressure on schools, on JAM, WAEC, and all of those educational institutions, then they would be forced to employ more teachers, more data analysts, more education technologies, and invest in that part of education, because that's currently a very underinvested part of education that we can really work on in Nigeria.
Give me some of the data you've come across that you've seen, and one of the recommendations you've made. Let's have an idea of the benefits of this analysis.
Okay, data regarding playtime of children and their academic performance. When a child is doing academic work, does this child have time to play, and how does he inform the academic performance of the children? So one of the things that I did with the school was that we created more playtime afterwards. So in between school, it's not just sit down in your class, learn all day long, and you don't have time to move your body. Yes.
It's break time.
Then, more time. And another data I came across that I worked on was nutrition and academic performance.
Please give us that one.
Yes, when kids eat well, not that you pack noodles, sausage in their food, 0-calorie foods, and you give them packed juice afterwards, and their brains are not having enough food to develop. So those things are in the pipeline, in the sense that you can't just isolate a factor and say that this is what is influencing their academic performance. But you can see that there is a positive, yes, it's a contributing factor. Like I always tell parents, like I've had breakfast today. Very important, have your breakfast. Let the kids eat before they go to school or immediately they go to school. Yes, like you always say, a hungry child is an angry child. I mean, if I don't eat well, I won't be able to learn well. So those are those are things that are happening in schools that we can isolate and say, can we make sure that our kids are eating better? Can we make sure that they are playing? Can we make sure that we don't just do academic work? I mean, I never heard of mental health until university or even afterwards. Can we make sure that we are teaching our kids things outside the conventional academic work and really help them to, grow better, to become rounded adults? Those are examples of data I've come across, and worked on and given.
I wanted to ask, have you ever seen a resistance against your data that you're bringing to change anything? The time when
imagine, yes.
Headmistress final rule. So how have you combated such resistance with school? How have you handled such resistance?
Okay, usually you approach a school and you tell them what you can do. First of all, is like, we don't want our data out before you go and find out something very silly, and then you go and tell everybody about us. So resistance is, first of all, do they know what's happening? Do they want to release your data to them? And then you recommend, like you always say, it's their school. You can only advise, recommend politely, and then they can see reasons with you. So there are days that are like, no, our teachers are good. They have masters, but they've not done a course in 2 years. And then they are just doing knowledge, no application.
Have you ever gotten any data concerning teaching methodology? How to teach that? Because there's a certain way teachers teach, and there are other ways you could teach that you get the information. So any data you can share with us that you've had in the past?
Interestingly, Nigerian schools, I have not seen any Nigerian schools data on teaching methodologies and how they impact academic performance.
Wow.
No Nigerian school. If they do have, please bring forward. We can work on
the Ministry of Education can help you with that.
Yes.
Commissioner for Education.
Yes, please. If data regarding teaching methodologies, because you're telling teachers, these students don't understand though. They can recall first order learning, but they can't apply to daily life. You see a child that knows this thing offhand, they can regurgitate all the data, all the information, but they can't apply. They can't think through what they have learned. So those are things that I would like to see more people bring for their data. And some schools, they don't really even collect this data.
What about learning difficulties that a child might have? So, for example, in
the data of children, the number of children that have it.
Quite slowly because it's very imaginary. While he's writing, he's doing something else. And the teacher thought to handle it by parading him in class. So how would you say they should handle learning difficulties?
A child like that. Okay, at 4. Okay, basically, sometimes we put pressure on the school, on the children at 4. In Canada, you may not even be...
It's coloring.
You're playing. You're using... Your child is actually doing the right thing. At that age, you're supposed to be imagining, engaging your creative faculties. That's what a child at 4 is supposed to be doing. Next, the hands are not even fully developed to even hold a pencil. I mean, a lot of Nigerian teachers will disagree with me, even the Montessori schools. But really, that's not what a child is supposed to do. Maybe not put so much pressure on the child. I mean, we have things that we are very good at. I mean, even as adults now, there are some things that I can try, but it's not really my strength. So we can just allow that child to grow at his pace.
Their own pace.
Yes, at 5, we can now start talking about you have not learned. Like my mom will say, have you ever seen a child, an adult, it's not possible. When that child grows, exactly, just let that child play, please.
Because we wanted to celebrate the work you do, because one of the reasons why we like to bring people like you on the show is just to show that young people are doing amazing things. So just give us a quick background of how you got into this business, what led you to it, and what you hope to achieve going forward.
Okay, so when I finished NYSC, something tragic happened at home, and I had to start taking care of my 2 younger ones. They are boys. And that led me to the world of the boy child. I mean, I grew up from a low-income background, and in SS1, I had a scholarship to one of the highbrow schools in Lagos. So I had a mix of both worlds. So taking care of my younger brother gave me a very different view of life. Having to take care of young people, and you see the real challenges that they go through growing up, and talking to their friends, and all of that. It's a really dirty world and all of that. And as we go, some things we normalize these days. When we look at the spiral effect on the young ones, it's concerning. Like, for instance, Portable is being celebrated. And I'm going to convince a child in a low-income background school that the child should read. Why should I read? This person is being celebrated. This person, exactly. You don't go to school. I would just go to BBN, and I'll be fine. I'll blow.
Yes.
And how do you convince those children not to involve in betting? I mean, in public schools these days, once you see them gathering together, They're talking about Ashenomba and Wale. That's what they do these days.
There's one that touching
an early age like that.
Yeah, tap.
Tap, they're tired.
Yeah, so being in the forefront and seeing, so this is not what I read. This is not what I heard another person say. This is what happened to me. My life had to slow down to accommodate taking care of my 2 younger ones. And I'm saying that. And it's been a rough, interesting journey, but very fulfilling one at that. I can see their friends. Some are graduates now. My younger brother is in NYSC now.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
As in from such a young age.
Yeah, I was like 20 plus then. So seeing that has just changed my brain's wiring. I'm saying that, okay, yeah, I have spare 10,000 naira, 50,000 naira. I can put it to help these young ones develop. Like what I was saying earlier, last week, Thursday, was International Day of the Boy Child. And I'm saying, okay, instead of just sending that money to my younger ones or just doing it in my circle, let's go to a school in Idiarapa. And that was where we went to and celebrated with these young boys. You needed to see the videos. I mean, some of them in jest, they couldn't even make a complete statement in English. Yes. Yes. This is Idiaraba. It's an Hausa community. And the teachers are telling me some of these gestury girls you're seeing, they are not coming back in September. They are going to get married. So
in Lagos?
Yes.
They'll go
home. Babana is saying you get married in September and you won't come back to school again. So these are the issues. These are things happening. And as much as
issues out there.
Yes. As much as I do my the profit side of things, Plant Path Consult, I also do the NGO side of things. Yes, that is what I do with Tarmac Initiatives. So what we do is to reach out to young people and help them have a whole life. When I was in JS1, there was a community in Isolo. We used to go for TLP, Community Life Project or something like that. And we used to go every Monday. It was just a safe space like this. We would go and they would just talk about growing up, poise, how to talk well, this thing. And you know, those seeds here and there, they contributed to me developing well. Wow. And I'm saying that as a young person, you have spare money here and there, you have resources, we can, use it to help these young people develop academically, mental health, financial literacy. Just talk about topical issues that they would most likely not hear in class, and just throw seeds here and there. Fantastic. Yeah, so we did that in Idiaraba, and we are going to Apapa next. Fantastic. Apapa is a wonderful community. Wow. A lot of boys I've met there, they want to be truck drivers. Yeah. They want to be, because trucking is the business.
That's where the money is, according to them.
That's what they see.
Exactly. So it's not like being in the maritime industry is not good, but they can aspire for bigger things in the maritime space.
Right.
Yes.
And truck driver.
Well, exactly. Just give them a bigger picture of the future.
You're doing amazing work. Well done.
Thank you.
It's always good to give back, especially from where you're coming from, to your society and to your community. So well done for the work you're doing. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is all we can take on the show. Show is over. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move